Alright guys, welcome back, and today we're going to go over the new reveals that they just dropped for Alestrals and Snowshade. So this week's reveals were a little different. It's currently Thursday that I'm recording this, and they have already finished revealing all the new functional cards um, that they're going to reveal this week. So we're just going to go through all the new Demeter and Apollo stuff, because that's all the new functional stuff we're going to get this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to start going through those. So first off, we're going to go through the Demeter stuff simply because it's the first, it's Earth, it'll be right there. And then we'll go through the Apollo stuff. So first up we have Clovey, champion of Demeter, of course. All of these next guys are going to be champions of Demeter. So Clovey, um, Clovey is a 2/4. When this Clover sees one or more Earth, you can search your deck for a Demeter or Demeter's Harvest and add it to your hand. This is exactly what the deck needed. Clovey, it does suffer from Spine Nymph syndrome in that it doesn't really do anything besides search for your Divine. Um, and then Spine Nymph also has like a thing, but like I don't like Spine Nymph for that. If you like just wanted to search the Divine and like have a decent body on board, Spine Nymph is not that. You use it to get your Divine and then spend the entire thing to go into a Spinosect most of the time. But for this, you can search multiple because it's on receive. So that is something I do like about it. And a lot of, not a lot actually, I should say, but a few of the Demeter champs have a Nexus effect, so that'll help this be live more often, or help you get it be able to search more than once in a turn. Because that's the big benefit of on receivers is that you can search more than once. You can trigger this twice with Bloom, so you can get the Demeter and the signature rune, which is awesome. Love that. So this is going to be one of those cards that is good. It just requires a creative player to be able to get full use out of the card, I'll say. Um, I do really like. What else do I like about that? I was just about to say something and I have forgotten it. So we're going to move on to Sakura-Sor, champion of Demeter. You can Nexus Earth, so that helps you with your Clovey, but you do have to get here, and it is not entirely difficult to get here. Another thing I need to note about Champions of Demeter is that they have a in-hand searcher. You don't have to like normal cast something and like Nexus to get a search for your champions, which is really cool. And then the card that effect is on is a 2-drop Alestral. So that on cast reses a 1 spirit and gives it like +3/+3. I think it's +3/+3. I know it's at least +3 attack. I don't know about defense though. But you'll very rarely use it for that effect. Most of the time, you're just gonna pitch it and expend an Earth to like search any champion to beat her. So when you look at any of these, you have to think like you're playing 6 if you're playing 3, and like if you play 1, you're basically playing 4. Like your entire deck is just at your whim most of the time in Demeter, I will say. Simply because Gigaflora at champ is really good. So let's finish reading this card. It's a 6/6. When you do, you can Nexus Earth. When you do, you can give your other champions of Demeter +3/+3 until the next turn. Other champions of Demeter. So notably not itself. So it is not a 9/9 on Nexus, which is a little disappointing. I wish it was a 9/9 on Nexus. But your champions of Demeter are unaffected by counter runes if this Sakura-Sor was targeted by Demeter's effect this turn. This effect is crazy. Demeter, there is a card that helps you turbo this out. It's not entirely that simple to get to it. But it is like it's not hard. It's not as hard as stick a one drop, um, and then find this and then ascend over it. It's not that hard. Um, another, but even still, like with how awkward this is to cast and like get out, unaffected by counter runes is just kind of like a goated effect. That you just like unthinkable to put on anything else. Actually, I really like this effect. This effect is this is a build around card for sure. For sure, this is a build around card. This in Crab, Moss Station Champ. All right, next up we have Cedar Sword Champion of Demeter. So this is like the only. I think this is the only Celestial that's like this, where Clovey can go into Sakura Soar or Cedar Soar. It has like a split evolution line. Or Ascension line. My bad. My bad. Don't sue me, please. What else? The original Cedar Soar is banned. And it released in Moonrise. And that one actually had like an effect that I was using in a deck that wasn't the get it off a mill effect. But it got banned for being too good, and it was too good, so it deserved to be banned. This one, same stats, 4/6, Frost Earth, Earth Frost. You can expend Earth and Frost in order to destroy each Celestial with 6 or less defense, or 6 or less attack, if your Demeter is enchanted. When the Cedar Sword is destroyed in battle, you can target an Earth rune in your underworld and return it to your hand. So this thing... No, that'll get me demonetized. I'm not monetized anyway. What am I saying? This thing is a suicide bomber. It is super hard to get to, but... So... The only things that get it bigger than 6... So this does destroy itself if you use this effect. So you are... like I said, this thing's a suicide bomber. Your Demeter does have to be on the board, so you can simply just use it on the Cedar Sword to save itself. But you want to use your Demeter effect for either Sakura Soar or maybe your Chant Vertilith or something to like run over the thing that is greater than 6 attack. And usually 7 is not big enough to get over that threshold. Unless you're playing against Fish. This is a decent card against Fish. I would probably side this in like 2 Frost Spirits. And like I said, everything is searchable. So yeah. And then the when destroy... you're never going to use this effect. Like, you're never using this effect. Like, if you use Demeter effect on this, destroy everything with less than 6, this thing is still alive, and then you swing into something and it die and like kill this to like get an earthquake back. That's not happening. That you do not. The situation does not exist. That is not happening. That is not happening. Yeah. This card is like side deck tech against like boards that go wide. So something like More Frost or what else? Fish. More Frost or Fish. This is good against that. Could be decent tech against Hades when that comes out. If you want to see my reaction to the Hades decks and the Athena decks, or not decks, but cards, you can go to the card title thing that I will link in this video. You can see it right there. You can see it right there above me in the title card. I don't think those are title cards. What are those called? Video cards? No. Someone in the comments tell me what those are called. Yeah. And then we'll move on to the next card in the Demeter Champ lineup. We'll move on to Mudlet. And you can disenchant an Earth from your Demeter in order to search your deck for a Scythe of Demeter or a Feloy Force and add it to your hand. This is exactly... Well, not exactly, I won't say. I wish this was on normal cast, not disenchant from Demeter, because this does require just a little bit more setup than you would want. Um, it notably does not take Demeter's effect, which is very good. If this took Demeter's effect, ugh, that would be awful. Um, yeah, that's big anti-synergy with crabs. Um, but searching for Scythe or Feloy is pretty good. So notably, there are two Feloys you can search for this. You can search the Earth one, which is the good one that you're always going to play because you can search it now. Um, which is the one that's just like the +1 for each Earth enchanting your cards. That card is great. We love it. And then there's the Burning Woods, which is a good tech against Baraboss. I say as a cope, but it's also a good tech against Ares. Yeah, the other stadium deck that exists. But when are you ever playing against Ares? That deck is bad. But yeah. While this Mudlet is enchanted, Elestrals cannot attack the turn they are cast unless they are Earth enchanted. So a little base set Ryceros effect, which is kind of appreciated. It works until it doesn't. Summoning Sickness is something I hate in general. I hate Summoning Sickness. I took the resources to cast this guy this turn. Let me attack with him. But that's just a me thing on game design. I personally hate Summoning Sickness. So being forced to play with it while your opponent isn't is pretty decent. And you're gonna play this anyway because it searches one of the best cards in the deck, which is the Feloy, that gives you more attack. So it's not a bad bonus effect for sure. Yeah, it's not a bad bonus effect. And then this ascends into Chryspor, Champion of Demeter. This Chryspor deals piercing damage just flat out, full stop. Pretty good effect. Like it's not the effect you play a card for, but it's a nice bonus effect. This Chryspor is enraged unless Feloy Forest is enchanted. Oh, I forgot that's the condition. I thought it was just enraged, period. Okay. This changes some things. This changes some things how I feel about the card, actually. Unless Feloy is enchanted. You can discard an Earth card in order to target and destroy up to 2 face-down runes if this Chryspor is not enraged. I completely just did not clock that it is not enraged if it Feloy's up. That's interesting. This card is pretty good. You'd only play it if Feloy is up, so it's a 9, which is a pretty good stat line for a 2-drop. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't give Demeter a 3-drop, but the only one that there were only 2 Earth 3-drops, Centaurburn and Titan, and both of those are getting champions of what? Dionysus. That's the other divine. So Demeter kind of needed her own lane, and then these Elestrals also needed like their own lane to go down. So I'm not entirely surprised. I do wish she kind of got a 3-drop because there's enough Nexus in this deck and enough Nexus in Earth in general that you could kind of easily go into a 3-drop. And then maybe with the counter rune, the signature counter rune that we'll get to later, it might have been a little too easy to get it out. But what do I know? Alright. But yeah, Chryspor. Destroying 2 of your opponent's back row is crazy. It is, in fact, disgusting. Unless the 2 things you pop are shield and dice. Then it's not very crazy. It does take a discard. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, you are playing Feloy, but it won't always be up. You have to hard ascend into this. You don't have to hard ascend into this, but most of the time you are going to hard ascend into this. So it's kind of a brick in your hand until you can get something to stick for a turn. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I'll have to see about this. That's the one thing about Demeter is like that I've noticed from the rest of her support. It's like it's good, but it's not like there's nothing that's like stands out as like this is why you would want to play Demeter like as a deck. Like there are good cards in here. Like Mudlet's good, Clovey. Clovey's okay. It searches Demeter. It does. Clovey does its job. Clovey does its job. Um, and there's just really isn't a reason to play besides like um, Moss Station Champ. There's really no it has direction, but it doesn't have purpose. If that makes any sense. Um, it's like on the upper end of meh for me, where like the cards are good. I like the cards. I'm excited because Demeter's my favorite divine. Well, my favorite OG divine, I will say. I'm Athena came out and I'm like, this is my new favorite. she, by the way, if you pull the full art, contact me immediately. I am looking for 3. Um, yeah, Christspore as like a top end, I don't see it. It's just not that good. It's just not really like good enough. Like it is a 9 under Feloy, and like you can like Nexus to make it a 10. But like that's I would rather play Sakurasaur. Simply because like this is a 9/9 because you're always using Demeter's effect on it to make yourself immune to counter runes. And it gives all your other stuff +3/+3. And you're always playing 3 Gigaflora anyway. And like I think that one's a 7, I want to say. So that's a 10 with this. Yeah, I'd rather play Sakurasaur as a top end than Christspore. But we definitely need to do a lot of experimentation with this deck. There's just so many directions you can take it. Alright, now that we've spent enough time on Christspore, we can finally go on to Equilinx, champion of Demeter. 4/3, same stats as the original, which is really good. You can Nexus Earth. When you do, you can target an Celestial and give it +2 attack, +2 defense. While this Equilinx has the lowest attack on the field, it can attack opponents' spirit decks directly. The funny thing about this is that this does it does work if it's the only Celestial in the field. So, well, you can still attack directly, even if it. It's just funny how that works. But the +2/+2 until the next turn, it's enough to get over something, but if you don't get over it that turn, you're screwed. I don't know. Like, +2 is alright. There's a reason Dice is seeing a lot of play, and it's not just because it says return Gorgon's Gaze to your deck. +2/+2 can be good. But the reason it's good on Dice is because you can do it whenever you want. This one is attached to a Nexus, so I'm not entirely sure how good it'll be. If you stack this with Demeter effect, it's +5. So giving one of your guys a Necklace of Harmonia for a turn for free is kind of crazy. But I don't think it's good enough to like use your normal on. Alright, next up we have Viserys, Champion of Demeter. Very very nice candid shot of this Viserys. He is just standing there. What is he doing? what is he doing? This Viserys gets +1 defense for each Viserys on the field. You can enchant Earth from your underworld to your field if this Viserys is the highest defense on the field. Okay. Yeah, this is like okay. The enchant is probably the most exciting part of this card. Like, obviously you cast this thing off Viserys, but then you run into the problem of you draw this instead of the Viserys you want to draw, which is the problem with the last Viserys that they've printed, and then, like, you don't really care anymore because, like, well, you've drawn the bad one, so why should you run this when you're gonna draw it sometimes and not the good one that you want? And that's just kind of the thing you have to do. You have to, like, you kind of just have to, like, know in your head is like, well, I will draw this sometimes, but hopefully I will draw the good one more. And that's just kind of something you have to get into your head. All right, so that is not it for the champions. There is one more. We have Mostation, Champion of Demeter. You can disenchant an Earth from this Mostation in order to special cast a Mostation from your hand or deck. So, this doesn't work with Viserys. You have to Nexus, which means you're either playing Bloom, Equilinx, the good one, or Equilinx, the bad one, or you've already gotten to a Sakurasaur. I don't like this. You probably play this in Crabs and, like, somehow Nexus a water to it. Oh, you could play Mudslide. Mudslide works with this. Yeah. Because you could, like, enchant either the Earth or the water, whatever you need at that time. Yeah, that's fine. You can play this with, like, Mudslide or Tsunami High Tide if you were just straight up Earth enchant it. Yeah, that's an idea. This probably goes hard in Crabs, but I don't know. Not personally, not my thing. All right, and then that's all the champions of Demeter. We'll go over the champions of Apollo. And then after we go over the champions, we're gonna go over some set code math. So first up, we have Jatora, Champion of Apollo. When you normal cast this Jatora, you can search your deck for an Apollo and add it to your hand. Thank God we don't gotta play Plucky. Plucky is officially dead, found dead in a ditch. The last two divines that needed a searcher have been found. So we have Jatora, which searches Apollo, and finally we have Clovey, which searches Demeter. It has been a long time. These divines have needed a searcher for a long time. That wasn't Plucky. Alright. This also has another effect. While you foretell with your Apollo's effect, you may add one solar non-divine rune instead of adding an Celestial. So this basically just says add a solar card instead of just a solar Celestial, but you just can't add a solar divine. And it's specifically with Apollo's effect as well. So you still foretell the 3, and then you can add like a, I don't know, like a solar burst, a first light, whatever you want. It basically just says solar card, except you can't add Apollo or Ares. So I like this. It gives your Apollo a little interesting effect, and it searches it on the same turn, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then we have Lustragon, Champion of Apollo. When this foretold Lustragon is added to your hand, you can expend Solar in order to reveal each of your opponent's face-down runes. Phaloferos, the effect. Or is it a Correbrum also does this, I believe. There's a Correbral. I think one of the two does it. When you foretell, you can discard a solar card in order to target and destroy a face-down rune. So basically, when it's on the field, if you get it on the field, you can just discard a solar card and be like, this card is going to give me the most trouble this battle phase. I will destroy it, please. And they go, oh man, I wanted that one. Yeah, I don't particularly like this. It does have to be added to your hand off the foretell as well. So it can't just be like if you foretell it, you get to see. You have to add it to your hand. So what'll add this to hand off of a foretell? I know Apollo will. Is that it? Is there just Apollo that triggers this effect? If so, this card is terrible. There's got to be something that adds this off of foretell. Celestial. Celestial adds this off of foretell. But you're already destroying all the cards you would. But you've already destroyed all the cards anyway. That's funny. That's really funny. What else? What else? I think that's it as far as cards that can add this to hand off of a foretell. Next up, we got Peegleam. Straight up peeing it. When you normal cast as Peegleam, you can expend Solar in order to special cast a Soul Bell from your deck with Solar. So, Cow support has dropped. This thing's pretty bad. Like, you can get either Soul Bell, which is nice, but like, that's gross. Yeah, that's not great. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's only on normal cast. I don't like this. This is... I mean, if you play cows, this is a great card in cows, but I don't like this. And then we have Falaferos. 6/6. They got tired of the meme. Oh, this is a hollow. Ew. That's gross. That's gross that this is a hollow. I wish, like... I'd wish the Cybermaw were a hollow. The Cybermalls are rare, and they gave this one... Dog. What are you doing? I guess this was the hollow, and this was the rare last time, so they switched it up. Because in Daybreak, this was the hollow, and in Daybreak, this was a rare. Yeah, that's unfortunate. This is going to make me mad whenever I pull one of these. Because I'm going to want it to be something else. I already know. Next up, while this Falaferos is foretold, you may cast it with Solar as an artifact rune. With the effect, your Soul Bell and Soul Stocks get +1/+1 for each Solar enchanting this Falaferos. This card is so bad. This card is awful. Oh my god, this card is so bad. Like, a 6/6, not even, like, big enough to do anything, like, important. Like, if it were a 6/7, at least you could, like, defend it and be like, well, it has to be 8 to get over it. But, like, this is awful. If you foretell, cast this as a rune, and only... Well, I mean, I guess it's all of them. But still, it only affects Soul Bell and Soul Stocks. That's awful. This card is terrible. This card is terrible. I'm gonna hate pulling this card. I already know it. It's gonna take up a hollow slot that I want something else from. Oh god, this is awful. Alright, let's go Cybermaw. When you cast a Cybermaw, you can search your deck for a Champion of Apollo and put it on top of your deck. This is a good effect. This is a great effect. You can stack Novacore without having to run First Light. Or you could run this and First Light and stack Novacore that way. Which is pretty good. Put it on top of your deck. When the Cybermaul is attacked, you can expend Solar in order to return it to your hand and special cast a Lustragon from your hand with Solar. So, new jump scare PogChamp, new jump scare PogChamp. This card is pretty good if you're on 6 Lustragon. 3-2 is abysmal stats. It could have at least given it 4 defense. I think it was I think it was like a 4-1. Yeah, but these stats are terrible. Like, even with Temple up, you're only a 4-3. Yeah, these stats are terrible. But I guess you're not playing it for the stats anyway. The only thing that's really not that great is when this Cybermaul is attacked, so you can't trigger this on your turn. Which kind of sucks, but it would probably be a little too powerful if you could. So that's probably why. This will be a good card in Apollo. I'm not sure. I'm not hyped up on the Champions of Apollo. These just like don't do enough for me personally to like look at it and say, oh, this is where it's at. No. And then we'll go to the runes. So this Demeter art, I love this Demeter art. Not my favorite Demeter art, but it is my second favorite. My favorite Demeter art is the Artist Collection. Artist Collection Demeter art. That art is crazy. I love it. I have 4. That is not me exaggerating. I do have 4 of it. All right. So now we have a new Feloy Forest, Sanctuary of Demeter. When a player casts a Champion of Demeter, they can return Earth from their underworld to their spirit deck. So heal 1 on cast of any champ is great. It gives you a lot of longevity that this deck needs. Because you go through a lot of spirits, and you're going to go through a lot more spirits just by casting all the stuff, and a lot of your stuff is going to die on your opponent's turn because you won't have the buff because Demeter is once per turn. But if an Illustrial's attack and defense would change by the effect of a player's Demeter until the next turn, instead they are changed until that player's next turn. So you get an extra turn cycle on your Demeter effect, which is really good. So the 9/9 you make your Sakura-saur doesn't go away at the end of your turn. It goes away at the end of your opponent's turn. So it lasts a whole turn cycle, and they have to get over a 9/9, which is pretty good. So in my current Demeter build, I'm running 1 of this forest and 1 of the other one because they're both good at different things, and because it's searchable, you can get away with playing either. And then speaking of good cards, we can play a Demeter's Harvest, a 2-cost Earth counter rune. You can return up to 3 Earth from your Illustrials to your Spirit deck. You may special cast a Champion of Demeter from your hand with an enchantment cost up to the number of spirits you returned this way. So this is a crazy payoff for Crab. And great protection for Crab, too. Well, not protection. But you ensure that you get value off the spirits you bring back. Because what you do is you cast this, you return the 3 spirits off of your... Let's say you have Crab, it has the highest defense, or the highest attack, and you swing into something, you enchant 2 from your underworld, you have 3 spirits on your Crab now. Unfortunately, you got shielded. Sucks. Happens to the best of us, especially me. I hate that card. But with this, now what you can do is you can take those 3 spirits, put them back in your spirit deck, and then cast out a Sakura-saur, or a Chryspore, or another Crab, a Gigaflora, I have to look at Gigaflora now. What does Gigaflora do? Is Gigaflora on cast? No. Gigaflora. Champion to me. You can special cast. So it's not on cast. It's not on cast. It's a you can. So unfortunately you cannot cast the crab that turn if you cast Gigaflora off of this. But this is a crazy card. This is what Ares reinforcements should have been. Because it returns them to the spirit deck first, you don't actually lose the opportunity to cast your guy because the spirits are in your spirit deck and they have left the field, and they still have to pay off for PTA. So, or not PTA, not shield. So they pay out for the shield. Oh wait, no, it does still get returned to hand. Let's go. So you get crab back to your hand. You cannot cast that crab that got shielded because this. You do have to pick what Alestral you're casting when you resolve Demeter, when you resolve Harvest Effect. So you can't actually get the crab that got shielded back to your hand. It would be funny if you could. But if you have another crab, then we're talking. But yeah, this card does a lot to help Demeter strategy because you're playing a lot of 2-drops in that in there. Oh, you don't even have to use Earth Spirits. You could enchant it with whatever you wanted. That's interesting. You have to return the Earth Spirits, but you don't have to use them for the cast. Interesting. So you could play like I don't know what's got a big defense, like a Mostation champ. Interesting. Okay. There are a lot of things you can do with this rune. If you made it this far, in the comments below, tell me how you would use Demeter's Harvest. What would you cast off of Demeter's Harvest, and what would you enchant it with? Alright, and then that's it for Demeter stuff. Now we go on to Apollo. Looking very... very... yassified, I will say. But no, we got Apollo's Prophecy. This Apollo's Prophecy can only be played when a player activates an Alestral effect and Apollo or a champion of Apollo is enchanted. Target that Alestral on the field and change its effect on the chain to Foretell 3. So, what this means, you go Kinleo Nexus, you go Apollo's Prophecy, the Kinleo player foretells 3. You do not foretell the 3. You could also change your own effects to foretell 3 if you wanted to. So like say, what's an example of what Apollo champ has like an effect that does something every turn? What Apollo champs have a you can effect? You still pay the cost, so I guess you could Lustragon champ effect. No, that's bad. That's terrible. Activates an Alestral effect. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know why you would need a foretell that suddenly anyway. man. I guess in a very roundabout way, if you wanted to, if a crab attacked your champion Exaltus, you could use this, and then that would give your guy plus 3, so it'd make it a 6. That's the thing you can do. It's not good, but it's not good. But it's the thing you can do. Yeah, this effect it's okay. It's okay. It is a negate for solar. Um, Funny thing is, this is like the one card in solar that says the word target. So yeah, they very big nerf. It says target. It's a bad card in solar. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's a fine card. You play this if you're playing Apollo, but I don't think you should be playing Apollo. It's not great. And then Moss Station Champ got a full art. Cybermall got a full art. Yeah, and then that's it for everything that's not a stellar. So what did you think of the reveals from this week? Are you excited? Well, actually, hold on. Let's go back. Let's do some set code math. All right, so 8 spirits. We have the earths. So we have a possible. Oh my gosh. I don't know if the fires start here though. We do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 possible more earths. I doubt we're getting 9 more earth cards. Or earth Alestrals. So I think at least 3 of these. Maybe 2 or 3 of these are probably fire cards. So that would make 7 new earths. That's even still a lot. There's 6 new earths and 3 new fires. I can see that. Six more earths I can see. I don't know. Maybe they are mostly fire. I doubt it though. We still can get champs of other divines in the set, so we could get some Dio champs in here. So that's it for that. What else could we get? Hephaestus just got a starter deck, so I don't think he's gonna get any more champs anytime this set. What's the other fire? Hestia got a new champion last set. We might get like 1 Hestia champ. And then there's always the chance that like they put fire and like another divine like sub archetype. I don't know. So yeah, there's that. So if we got any more fires. All right, so we're not getting any non-champion water cards. Yeah, we're not getting any non-champion water cards. You can because they always put those before the champions in the set code order. So this Mustation is the first. So we have at least 4 more water cards to discover. And this, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 plus 4. That's 7, 8. We have 8 slots for Thunder and Wind. And we know 2 of the Wind slots are Champion of Hestia, Paracne, and Kite Might. So that means there might not be, or there might be like 1 or 2, but there probably won't be a lot of Thunder cards in this set, which makes sense. We just had the Thunder Solar set, so it's not like we expected to get a lot of them. Next up, we know And I guess we could this like could be Frost as well. I doubt it though. This is probably all the Frost we're getting in Snowshade. Um, yeah, I think this is all the Frost guys we're getting in Snowshade. And then these are all of the solar Elestrals that we're getting in Snowshade. We're literally only getting these 5. And then we know all the lunar Elestrals because Demeter starts here. So we have this is probably a counter, or not a counter. This is probably an Earth Invoke rune. And then Midas Touch is probably the last Earth rune, so we probably are getting 2 new water runes, or a fire rune and another water rune. This is probably a water counter rune. No, I don't know. As far as the runes go, I'm not entirely sure, because we don't know a lot. So these 2 runes are either, let's see, they're either water, thunder, or wind, which is a pretty... I don't think... They might be wind. They definitely won't be thunder. I'm pretty sure they won't be thunder. They might be wind and they might be water. I don't know what, though. These are all the Frost runes. Yeah, I heavily doubt that they would... I think they always start with the Divine runes whenever they start sets. So Hades is the first Divine rune. So this is probably like a water, thunder, or wind rune. And then we go... So this is for sure another solar rune. I have no idea what it could be though, because we know we're getting one more lunar phase this set, so that could be something. And then I'm pretty sure that Trifernal is the first full art. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Trifernal is the first full art. I'm going to call that. So these 3 slots are for runes, which means these are going to be lunar runes. We know one of these is a... well, no, we could be more with cards. This one might be an Earth full art. Yeah, they do try to put a one full art of every element in the set. I think they tried to do that. Don't quote me on that. I could be totally wrong. I probably am totally wrong on that. So, yeah, this one might be a full art. So we have at least 2, and we know one of these is a lunar phase. So we still have one completely unknown lunar rune. And we know it's a counter rune because counter runes always come last. I'm pretty sure, yeah, counter runes always come last. So we have 1 new lunar counter rune to look forward to. I have no idea what it's going to do. It could be another lunar phase. I doubt it, but it could be. And then there's also the other possibility that we get 2 new lunar counter runes, which would be interesting. We'll have to wait until next week to find out, because they're done with the functional card reveals for this week. All of the next reveal videos are going to be just the contents of the starter decks. So that's the thing. I think that is going to do it for today, though. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.